Hello, my fellow creative friend. My name is Molly Jakes. I am a commercial freelance artist of 10 plus years. I've worked with some of the best brands on the planet, including Disney, Nike, Target, Google. I'm tooting my own horn here, but I'm just letting you know I have some credibility. I have also taught thousands of artists just like yourself how to take your creative skills and turn those skills into a profitable freelance business. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about why 2020 is your year to leave comparison and copying in the past and focus on your creative voice, your own personal creative voice, and why it's so important, how it's going to help you build your client list, build your following, and ultimately build your income, right? Because that's pretty important. Okay, let's dive into it. Okay, so a lot of you who follow my work on here, who follow my content, are artists who are just starting out. But there are people sprinkled here and there who've been doing it either as long as I have or longer. And all of those people have different input on this topic. But I think that most of us as veterans in this industry can agree that something that helps you stand out and get more clients is by having distinctive work that expresses a specific creative voice. Like that has always, since day one, been really important to me. And that can be done in so many different ways, depending on who you talk to. But ultimately what it comes down to is like, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want your creative voice to be? Because as artists, we have that power to do that. Like we can say, this is how I want to be perceived in the world. This is the message that I want to give. When I first started off, I'm not that old. Like how old am I? 32. And so I've been doing this, I was in school and then like all throughout my 20s, I was freelancing. But when I was in school and they were teaching us about self-promotion, which is so important as artists, so much of it was direct mailers, a shitty website that you probably built on your own, and sending emails. And so before me, the generation before me was all about sending in physical copies, like actual artwork, like sending those things in to different art directors, art buyers, agencies, and stuff like that. And so I'm kind of like this middle generation between the physical, like analog, and the total like digital age. And I'm clearly in the digital age right now, and I'm still doing all that stuff. So with that being said, things have changed a lot over the years in terms of how you get clients and how you get noticed as an artist. And so now that we live in this age where all of our potential clients, which are, in my case, I like to work with ad agencies and like marketing agencies and stuff like that. So anyway, we live in a digital age now where it is easier than ever to put your art out into the world, right? Like since we have social media, particularly Instagram, is awesome for creatives because it gives us the opportunity to like speak to our client in a very visual way for free. So you want to be doing that, right? It's like a great way to get seen by potential clients. But with that said, it is easier than ever to be an independent artist, to work for yourself and to freelance. But I would argue that it is harder than it was when I was first starting out to actually get seen, because you are like in such a bigger pool, right? Of all these other artists who are doing the same things as you and who are trying to get the same clients that you want to get. And it's hard. It can be really frustrating at times. But with that being said, that goes back to why it is so important to be creating work that stands out from the sea of artists, which I know it's like really tempting to just like copy other artists and be like, that person's doing that thing, it's working well for them, I'm gonna do that. But I wanna like fill you in on a little tip. Your clients, your potential clients, they are real human beings who also have social media and who are looking at your art. They're like scrolling through the feeds, they're following people, they're commenting on people's work. These are real human beings, and they're not just like these people sitting on a throne at an ad agency. Like some of them are, but even those people are on social media looking for new art, finding creative inspiration on Instagram. So that should be an indication that it's like, you should be using that platform and you should be using it in creative ways so you stand out, because you are going to be connecting with those people that you want to work with. Honestly, I have gotten some really, really good jobs simply through just like DMs on my Instagram. Like people from really big companies just straight up DMing me and saying, hey, do you want to work together? You should be using it and you should be standing out. If you know me, you know I like to go. I'm ADD, my brain is all over the place. Anyways, so how do we do it? How do we stand out from the crowd? How do we create our creative voice? It's a really good question, and it means something different to everybody. So I have a few tips for this, and I've created like an entire little mini workshop thing that I'll leave a link, I think, in the description, so you can go check it out if you want to. That's kind of my approach to this whole like finding your creative voice. But a lot of it comes down to, what do you value in life, right? You got to figure out, what do you value? What do you want to talk about? Like, it could be anything. Like, it doesn't even have to necessarily be of value. It could be, do you have something that you want to talk about? Like an idea or a movement or like just stupid stuff. Like maybe you just like are into talking about stupid things. Like, think about all like the memes that you see out there that are just like, don't even make any sense. You need to figure out what you want to talk about. Like, this should be before like you figure out what all of your images should even look like, right? So you need to figure out what you want to talk about and then say to yourself, how can I convey this message in a creative way that A, I think is really fun to create. Like, I love the process, because loving the process is so important as an artist. And B, that my key clients, the people I want to work with, they'll respond to it. Or I maybe think they'll respond to it. And I know that can be hard to figure that out, but that's why you have to be doing your research and say, like, what are these brands like? Like, what are they into? What's their vibe? How can I create something that falls into that vibe, but is still totally different? And that takes risk. It means you have to go out on a limb and do something different than what all the other artists that are like in your little pool are doing. But the good thing is that fortune favors the bold. So potentially you are going to be completely standing out amongst all of those other people if you are willing to take risks and do things a little bit differently. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. So 2020, it's your year to leave that copying behind. Start thinking about different ways to do things. Like, do something different. Think about like getting outside, using weird elements in your images, in your videos, using stop animation in unique ways, doing things that are different. Like, so for me, I am in the lettering world, right? Like, I have done hand lettering for this whole time. Like, it's my very like specific thing that I do. I feel like when I look at the hand lettering world, not everybody, there's so much of the same stuff. So much of the same stuff. And I'm not even saying that as a diss to people, like saying, they're copying. I'm just saying it as an observation. Like, I personally don't really care that much if it's all the same, but as a business owner, because I'm also a business owner, when I look at art and I say, okay, who do I want to hire to create a mural in our brick and mortar business? I am going to hire someone because A, I like them as a human and I know that they're great to work with, and B, they're doing something that's different. Even if it might like be like quote unquote like not as good as somebody else's, if it's different and I'm like, this is unusual, and it's getting a message across in a cool way, I'm gonna choose that person way over the person who's like, maybe their technique is great. Like, it's just a glimpse into like business owners and why they would hire people. So like, don't be afraid to branch out, try something new. Worst case scenario, it flops and it like doesn't do well, but make sure that you're doing it like in an extended period of time so you're kind of getting the message across, because you gotta like be talking to no one for a while before you actually get people coming back and saying, yeah, I believe in what you're doing, it's cool, it resonates with me. And then that's when people start sharing your work and say, this is cool, it's different, and then it starts going viral, and then all of your clients are going to be saying, oh my goodness, I'm seeing this work now. Have you, like, going to their colleagues and saying, have you seen this girl, like what she's doing, like with like hand lettering? Like, she's going out and, I don't know, like going to the sand dunes and like turning sand dunes into lettering. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. Like something crazy, weird, but still legible and could be used in advertising or in editorial or in whatever. Like, those are the things that are going to set you apart. So just because you're seeing all these other people doing one thing and you think it looks good, it doesn't mean that you should be doing it, and you should definitely feel good if you're trying something new and different, and even if it's flops. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So, this is your year, 2020. Stop copying other people. Start figuring out what you want to talk about. Figure out that first. Like, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to be about? And then, even if there's other people doing that, who cares? Find creative ways to get that message across on your social media, in your branding, in whatever it is that you are doing. And of course, be someone that people want to work with. All right. If you liked this video, this part is important. If you watched it to the end, you can help me out by liking the video and leaving a comment. And if you really liked it, please share. Like, this helps me out a lot. It helps out my brand. It helps me reach more people, and it helps me uplift the community more, which is what I'm about. Like, that's my message, is that I want to help you be more successful in your art business. So please go ahead, leave some love, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks so much for sitting through this video.